Hi, my name is Jeff Morgan. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm here to speak on the best interest of the child. When you hear the phrase best interest of the child, most people think that's something really good that we should be pursuing for public policy. I mean, when people are getting divorced or if something's happening, we've got to put the children first. The children are the primary importance. The Texas Family Code is 1,458 pages. You can download it online. Within that document, there are 100 references to either the best interest of the child or the child's best interest. So obviously, the Texas Family Code thinks this is very important that we address the best interest of the child or the child's best interest. Naturally, this leads one to say, what exactly is the child's best interest? Most certainly, if we're going to be talking about the child's best interest or the best interest of the children, there's got to be a definition in the Family Code. Well, I searched in vain. There is no definition of the child's best interest in the Family Code. Well, certainly then, if there's no definition, the child's best interest is determined by the parents. Actually, don't assume that. In fact, the child's best interest is determined by the court. The child's best interest is determined by the guardian ad litem who is appointed by the court, can be determined by an attorney, can be determined by an amicus attorney. Even if two parents are getting divorced and they submit a parenting plan, it's got to be approved by the court. And if it's not, the judge can make you go back and redo it. And if he or she still doesn't like it, that judge can determine what the child's best interest is and impose a parenting plan on both parents, because somehow he who is a stranger to the child, who has perhaps met the child 5 minutes in his life, if at all, somehow magically is infused with this knowledge and wisdom to know what is in the child's best interest. The same is true of attorneys. The same is true for the guardian ad litem. Now, the guardian ad litem is supposed to be talking with the child and representing the best interests of the child. Of course, we have no idea what the best interests are, but the guardian ad litem somehow magically, over the brief amount of time that he or she will be talking and representing the interests of the child, will be able to figure out within those few hours of the child's lifetime what is in his or her best interest. The best interest of the child sounds so nice, but actually it has been used to justify a lot of evil. State is the agency or the entity that gets to determine what the best interest of the child is, in particular the court, the guardian ad litem, the attorney, the amicus attorney, anybody but the parent. The state, of course, is going to be caring for your child more than you as a parent or you as parents. So how does Texas define the best interest of the children? In section 153.002, the best interest of the children, the Texas Family Code defines the best interest of the children thusly. The best interest of the child shall always be the primary consideration of the court in determining the issues of conservatorship and possession of and access to a child. So here is a court before whom a couple of people appear, and the court gets to determine, without any knowledge of who the child is, no history of being in his or her life, no history or knowledge of what's gone on within the family. Somehow this judge is infused with this wisdom from on high to determine what the best interest of the child is. If you go to one court, one judge may say, this is in the best interest of the child. If you appear before a different judge, he may say, this is in the best interest of the child. There is absolutely no consistency in what is in the best interest of the child. Consider what this one famous person wrote about the state determining the best interest of the children. The state must declare the child to be the most precious treasure of the people. As long as the government is perceived as working for the benefit of the children, the people will happily endure almost any curtailment of liberty and almost any deprivation. Adolf Hitler from Kampf. In almost every instance, the best interest of the children is to be raised in an intact family with natural mother and natural father, period. The Texas Family Code actually violates the best interest of the children. For example, in situations of divorce, the Texas Family Code allows for no-fault divorce for any reason or no reason whatsoever. And by no-fault divorce, what I mean is unilateral divorce. In about 75% of the instances, the spouse against whom the suit is being filed does not want the divorce, and it is a lawsuit, and that spouse will always lose. And in even more than 75% of the instances, the children do not want the divorce to take place. They also lose. You are lying to the people when you say you are acting in the best interest of the children. You may be acting in the second best interest of the children or the third best interest of the children, but you are not acting in the best interest of the children in almost every single situation in which you take the position that the family should be destroyed and the child should just move on with his life. Now, is the Texas Family Code the same thing as what Adolf Hitler wrote in Mein Kampf? I am not going to make that judgment. That's up to you. But in a situation where the parents are completely removed from determining what the best interest of the child is, and some stranger can come in, be it a judge, be it a guardian ad litem, be it an attorney, and by the way, a lot of these people are getting paid big bucks to represent the best interests of the children. I wonder if it's whoever pays me the most to represent the best interests of the children is going to find that I can flavor or spin my opinion to favor him or her. I just wonder if that's the case. Let me be plain and simple and blunt about this. The best interest of the children in almost every single situation is to be raised in an intact family with his or her natural father and mother, period. A father and mother who learn to get along, who learn to love each other, who learn to put the children's interest above their own, if that's what it takes to get rid of their selfishness and anger and strife and infidelity or whatever else it may be. In a very few instances, the best interest of the child is for that family to be dissolved. And yet routinely in the state of Texas Family Code says the respondent, the one who is being sued for divorce, and that's right, it is sued because it's a lawsuit. If you read the writing, you have been sued. You may employ an attorney. You're being sued. The respondent loses 100% of the time, period. So this idea that somehow the Texas Family Code is acting in the best interest of the child by dividing up a family, by sanctioning a divorce, by not ordering some type of reconciliation, is a fabrication and it's a lie. At best, the state may be able to argue that they are advocating for the second best interest of the child, but they cannot, in all honesty, argue that they are doing the things in the best interest of the children. Now, I wouldn't even be so generous as to say the state is helping to advocate for the second best interest of the children. In many instances, they are assisting in the destruction and the devastation that a child will experience. And this is your Texas Family Code. So when you hear all this nonsense, and I'm going to call it nonsense, and that's being very generous, because as we learned from Adolf Hitler, it can be positively evil that we're acting in the child's best interest. Define what you mean by best interest. And if the best interest is something other than the father and the mother staying together, learning how to work things out and love each other, and love is a choice. Love is not just a feeling, it is a choice. It is a sacrifice at times, but it is a choice. Anything less than that, the father and the mother providing a home, a family for the children, is not in the best interest of the children. The Texas Family Code is a lie, period.